In a post-pandemic world that continues to adapt to new technologies and security measures, airports have changed radically. It is no longer enough to arrive on time and have your ticket in hand. Today, a mistake as simple as arriving 10 minutes late can cost you your entire flight. But that's just the beginning. The silent rules, the ones that don't appear in official bulletins or announced over loudspeakers, are already active and quietly enforced, often without travelers noticing until it's too late. 1. Passports without a chip, a ticket to rejection. As of this year, several countries have made the use of electronic passports with biometric chips mandatory. This small detail, a golden icon on the cover of the document, can be the difference between getting through immigration or being stranded at the airport. Although not all countries have issued official statements, airports such as Madrid, Amsterdam, and New York already use automated gates that only accept these documents. The most alarming thing is that many people discover this requirement when they are already at the immigration checkpoint. Even with a valid visa, if your passport does not have a chip, you may be denied entry. Recommendation: check your passport today. If you do not see the chip symbol, go to renew your document as soon as possible. Do not leave this procedure to the last minute, especially if you're traveling to Europe or North America. 2. Facial verification, the new boarding pass. In 2025, many airports are abandoning manual document checks and replacing them with mandatory facial verification. You no longer always need to show your passport. A camera captures your face and compares it with the biometric data on the digital chip. This system already works in countries such as Germany, Spain, Chile, and the United States. The problem: any change in your appearance, such as surgery, a new beard, or wearing dark glasses, can prevent the system from recognizing you. Recommendation: make sure your official photo is up to date. Avoid glasses, masks, or accessories during the facial scan. If you fail this check, you could miss your flight or be sent to secondary screening. 3. Baggage under full surveillance. Forget that little paper ticket you used to get with your suitcase. In 2025, the trend is toward automated surveillance. Smart tags with RFID chips, cameras that follow the path of your bag in real time, and motion sensors that alert you to any anomalies are used. Although the system improves security and reduces theft, it also means that if your bag is suspiciously separated from you or contains items that are not permitted, you could be called in for inspection or even penalized. Tip: don't allow others to place items in your bag. Keep it with you at all times and never leave it unattended, even for a few minutes. 4. Cameras that analyze your behavior. Are you nervous in the security line? Do you avoid looking at the staff or repeat your movements frequently? In some airports, such as London Heathrow, Frankfurt, and in pilot tests in Mexico and Brazil, artificial intelligence already analyzes passenger behavior in the queues. These cameras detect gestures, postures, and emotional reactions. If you are deemed to be acting suspiciously, even if you are not carrying anything illegal, you could be selected for a thorough search. Tip: stay calm. Avoid impulsive gestures. Answer clearly if you're asked a question, and act naturally. Your body language, now more than ever, can be your worst enemy in an airport. 5. New electronic restrictions. Electronic devices also have new rules. This year, many countries limit the number of external batteries, power banks, you can carry. Some must be declared if they exceed certain voltages. The rules on laptops, cameras, and tablets have also been tightened. If you can't turn on your device during the check, it could be confiscated. Even universal chargers or multiple adapters are under increased scrutiny. On flights to the US or Canada, wireless headphones are required to be removed from their case and scanned separately. Tip: check the regulations of the destination country. Keep your devices charged and ready for easy inspection. A dead battery can be grounds to leave you without your equipment. 6. Changes in health documentation. Although the pandemic may seem like a thing of the past, health protocols have not disappeared. Quite the contrary. In 2025, many countries have strengthened or reactivated sanitary measures that involve mandatory documentation in order to fly. Countries such as Japan, Australia, Argentina, and Brazil require digital vaccination certificates for certain diseases, such as yellow fever or even COVID-19 in high-risk areas. In addition, The use of official mobile applications has been implemented where the passenger's health status is recorded before the flight. A common problem: many travelers forget to complete online forms that must be submitted before boarding. Failure to complete them on time can result in denied boarding, with no right to reimbursement. Also, if you're carrying medication, some airports are requiring prescriptions translated into English or the language of the destination country. This is especially important if you are carrying controlled substances or in non-conventional presentations. Tip: check the health requirements of the destination country, even if you have traveled there before. Use official apps and have digital and physical copies of any certificates or prescriptions. 7. Changes to the boarding process. At many airports around the world, the classic loudspeaker call by seat group is disappearing. Instead, silent, digitized boarding systems are being implemented. Electronic displays show the order of entry to the aircraft, and each passenger is expected to be attended to his or her turn. If you get distracted, for example, by checking your phone or chatting, you could miss your group and, in some cases, even your flight. Some airlines have already started charging penalties if you don't respect your assigned boarding area or group. In addition, facial recognition systems are also being used in this process, especially at airports in Germany, the United Arab Emirates, Canada, and South Korea. Tip: don't get distracted by your cell phone in the boarding area. Watch the screens and be prepared with your pass ready, digital or physical. If your airport uses facial scanning, make sure you are visible and unobstructed on your face. 8. Rules on phone use in immigration. One rule that has gone unnoticed, but is already quietly enforced in many airports, is the prohibition of cell phone use in immigration and customs areas. This includes everything from checking messages to taking photos or recording videos, even if there is no malicious intent. At airports such as Dubai, New York, and Buenos Aires, several travelers have been momentarily detained for using their phones while waiting their turn at immigration. For the authorities, using a cell phone in this area can be interpreted as a distraction or even as suspicious behavior. What's worse, in many cases, they won't even warn you. They will simply hold you for a secondary check. Tip: put your phone away before approaching the immigration booth. Don't answer messages or use headphones while you are in that area. A simple gesture can save you from serious trouble. 9. Changes in liquid controls. The famous 100 milliliters per container rule is still alive, but it is already changing. Airports such as Heathrow in London, Schiphol in Amsterdam, and Hamad in Doha have begun implementing 3D liquid scanners that allow larger bottles to be carried. The problem? Not all airports around the world have this technology yet. Many travelers have been caught carrying large bottles believing the rule was eliminated globally, only to see their products confiscated at traditional checkpoints. Tip: before you fly, check to see if your departure and return airports have this technology. If not, follow the traditional rule: 100 milliliter bottles maximum, in a clear plastic bag and separate from luggage. 10. Silent in-flight bans. It is no longer enough to follow basic safety instructions. In 2025, several airlines are implementing internal policies that are not always publicly announced. These silent bans are intended to improve coexistence on board, but they can cause surprises for unsuspecting passengers. For example, recording other passengers or taking photos of them without their permission can be grounds for a warning and even a formal sanction. It is also frowned upon to use a speakerphone, change seats without authorization, or even remove shoes on long flights, especially if it is considered unhygienic. Sleeping with your feet out of the seat, invading the aisle, is another action that has generated complaints. Some airlines have even registered formal reports for this reason. Tip: remember that you are in a shared space. Act respectfully, avoid actions that may cause discomfort, and always follow the recommendations of the cabin staff. 11. Misfiled paper documents, the mistake that has caused most flights to be lost. For years, many travelers relied on carrying their paper documents as backup. Tickets, hotel confirmations, itineraries, or even temporary visas. But in 2025, this practice has begun to have unexpected consequences. At several airports with high-precision automatic scanners, poor quality printed documents, for example, black and white, wrinkled, or with smudged ink, are no longer recognized. State-of-the-art scanners, especially in Europe and Asia, cannot read blurry QR codes correctly, and if your boarding pass is poorly printed, you simply won't get through. There are even reports of passengers who printed out their itinerary with parts crossed out or took screenshots instead of official PDFs, and were detained for further verification. In some cases, airlines have rejected visas printed on sheets without original stamps or without the proper color, resulting in denied boarding without refund. Tip: if you print your documents, do so in high quality and in color. Do not use stained, wrinkled, or cut sheets, and always carry a digital copy accessible from your cell phone or tablet. 12. Items in your suitcase that are now cause for immediate alarm. In 2025, baggage checks are more automated, but also much stricter. Scanning systems with artificial intelligence are trained to detect not only weapons or liquids, but also unusual configurations in your luggage. For example, if you place coil wires next to batteries or if you carry metal objects wrapped in clothing, today's systems can interpret this as a suspicious pattern. Also, if there are prohibited items in your carry-on baggage, even if you don't know it, there will be no warning, just a recall that could cost you your flight. There have also been reports of passengers allowing strangers to stow items in their suitcase due to lack of space, which is a huge security breach. With the new automated surveillance, any anomaly is recorded. Tip: pack your suitcase carefully. Do not carry unnecessary items. Separate your devices well and never accept orders from third parties. Today, everything is recorded, logged, and tracked. 13. Body language, now as important as your documents. We have already mentioned facial verification, but there's another, less visible level: continuous behavioral analysis. At airports like Tokyo, Amsterdam, and San Francisco, AI systems analyze movement patterns from the time you enter the airport until you pass through security. Erratic movements, camera avoidance, hands constantly in pockets, or frequent changes of direction are signs that can flag you as a risk profile. Even if you're not carrying anything suspicious, you could be singled out for secondary screening just for appearing nervous. Tip: arrive early at the airport, take a breath, keep a calm and consistent attitude. Avoid overreacting if something doesn't go as expected. Today, acting with confidence is more important than ever. 14. Changes in in-flight behavior. The airplane is no longer just a means of transportation. In 2025, it is a monitored living environment. More airlines are implementing internal rules on in-flight behavior, many of which are not explicitly communicated. Actions previously considered normal, such as changing seats for convenience, must now be expressly authorized by staff. Sleeping with your feet out of the seat or taking off your shoes may be frowned upon and may even be ground for a warning. In addition, using a cell phone loudspeaker, recording other passengers, or talking loudly without respecting the common areas may generate reports. And yes, these reports are recorded in your travel history, affecting future flights. Tip: be discreet, considerate, and follow the crew's instructions. Maintain respect for other people's space. Your behavior today could determine how you are treated on your next flight. 15. Emerging technologies that can work against you if you're not informed. Airports are adopting increasingly advanced tools: third-generation body scanners, odor filters to detect illegal substances, body temperature sensors, and rapid genetic screening stations in special cases. Although it sounds like science fiction, they are already being implemented in test phases in places like Israel, South Korea, and some U.S. airports. If you are selected for these screenings, you have no right to refuse them without consequences. Tip: find out about the level of technology at the airport from which you will be departing. Some procedures are no longer voluntary, and refusal could result in trip cancellation. The travel experience has changed forever. It's not a matter of being afraid, but of being informed. Every little detail, from the way you print a document to how you behave in line, can make the difference between a smooth flight and an airport nightmare. In this video, we've walked through the new realities facing travelers in 2025. Many are already active, and others are in the process of global implementation. The message is clear. What was acceptable yesterday may today be grounds for sanction, blockage, or missed flights. But there is also a positive side. With this information, you can now avoid common mistakes, travel more prepared, and enjoy the process without stress. So now you know. Subscribe, turn on the little bell, and get ready for your next flight with all the information that others wish they had known in time.